we are with Let's Just Talk Mental Health.
Let's just talk mental health.
Talk Mental Health. Where are you? Let's go ahead and start it off. Where you at on a scale from 1 to 10? And then why?
Hmm.
Last time, where were you? Eight?
About an 8, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
I think I'm like at a 9. Nothing to complain about.
Okay. Okay. So why not? Why not an eight? What happened?
What happened? I'm just like content. Things are going good.
Mm,
Just moving forward
yeah,
in life. Um, there's still like ups and downs for sure, but yeah, things are good.
that's dope. That's dope. And what is something different that you're doing now that you didn't do or that you wasn't doing when you were at an eight?
I don't know that there's anything like super different necessarily. I mean, I guess like there was some communication that happened um for some things that needed to happen, so that was good.
Okay.
Um and I guess just like I've been making myself get outside every so
Mm,
often just
yeah,
because, like it's super easy, especially in the winter months. So like because it gets dark so early and because it's so cold to like stay isolated and stay inside your house.
yeah,
So like I guess this is kind of, I mean, it's mental health related too, but also fitness related. Is that
yeah.
I've been doing like my cousin challenged or invited me to a challenge for walking a mile every day, either outside or inside. And so when it's like I say warm enough, kind of in quotes, but because I still have to bundle and it's cold. But like when there's sunshine and it's says it's in the 40s, even if it feels like the 30s, I'll sometimes go for a walk outside to get like some fresh air, like some sunshine, a new
Yeah.
perspective.
Hmm.
Like it can get stale inside.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And actually you just made our topic for today. I don't even know if you knew that you just did that, but you just did.
Okay, there we go. I did this one other time too.
Yeah, seriously. Like I don't most of the time I've never come up with the topics. I've always come up with them as soon as I press record. Like you
Hmm.
gotta like that's just the way I always run my calls.
I
And
know.
so
I figured that out. I
you
figured
figured that out?
I did. I mean, I did figure it out. Yes, I figured it.
What?
Well, that's mostly because like I'm like I'm a semi planner, and so when
Hmm.
I try to get you
Yep.
to tell me the topic in advance so I
Yep.
tell people what it was, you
I would
wouldn't
never tell you.
do it.
I would never do it. Yep.
So I was like, okay, fine. He
Like he doesn't know.
he
Right?
doesn't know. He has
He
no
doesn't even know.
idea
He
until
has
the
no
day of.
idea.
And that's okay. That's fine. It's totally fine. I had to let that go.
Leave me alone. No.
No, you always have me go deep. I gotta give it back a little bit.
Hmm. No, I love it. I love it. And no, I genuinely love it. And you're bleeding into the topic that I was thinking about, which is your mental health during certain seasons. I don't know how necessarily to word that out. I guess I'll figure it out when I title the YouTube
Yeah.
video. But like, let's talk about mental health in seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were
I mean,
just watch. Go ahead.
it's a real thing. Like it's a
It's
real
a
thing.
real thing. Yep.
They have a whole like this month right now is seasonal affective disorder month because that's what happens. Like typically
Mm.
during the winter months, like I was saying, like people can become depressed
Mm.
because
During
like
the winter?
during the winter, a lot of times people can become depressed because of the things that I was saying before. It's like it gets dark so early, you're like
Yeah.
stuck inside.
Yeah.
Um, it's cold, so you don't get as much, maybe you're not doing as much activity outside or you don't get to see people. Also, like sometimes holidays are very difficult for people
Yeah.
because they've lost people in their life.
Oh, that's wow. Oh,
Like there's just so many like
ooh.
factors to it. Um, like so
Oh
like
my goodness. I didn't even think about that.
so it's just what can be like a joyous and happy time for some people could be like the saddest time of their life because they lost
Wow.
somebody that they like truly like loved.
Oh my goodness. We just saw that with the Grinch.
Hmm.
We just saw that. Like full circle right now. How are
Yeah.
we just talking about what we just saw? That's crazy.
I mean, but that's like what like, those stories
Yeah.
like where you have like people like who are like, I don't like there can be someone who's like, I love this season. I love this time of year. I love it. But there can be people who are like, I don't like this time of year. And it has
Yeah.
to really do with, and like sometimes you're like, why? Like it's the best,
Yeah.
like you're just like, why? It's the best time. It's the
The best
best time
time.
for me,
Yeah.
whatever. But you don't know what happened like for them. Like
Yeah.
they could have like something tragic could have happened around this time of year that
Absolutely.
like stays with them. And so then
Yeah.
every time this season comes around, it's like it brings back those memories and those things
Yeah.
um and so like just like we said, you just don't know. Like we said with the Grinch, it's like you just don't know like
Just
why
don't
someone
know.
feels that way unless you're willing to talk to them about it, you're willing
Wow.
to listen.
Mm.
Or and I mean they also have to be willing to talk about it too.
Mm. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. That's really good.
that's
Wow. Wow.
did I
The
answer
the
the question?
go I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said, did I answer the question? I think so.
Yeah, you can you gave a lot. Like, you just mentioned how s- it's so crazy to think someone else's favorite, best, most anticipated holiday could be someone else's least,
Hmm.
most hated,
Yeah.
most, you know what I'm saying? And that's all geared toward life experiences.
Well, and it also like has like to do with like, I love birthdays and I love celebrating birthdays. I love celebrating people's
Mm,
birthdays and stuff like that. But there are some people who don't. Like there's some
wow.
people like where birthdays sometimes bring them anxiety or they don't have, and some of it's because of just how they grew up. Some of it's like
Wow.
they're just like it doesn't matter to me. Like I don't know. I always like to try to make people feel special on their birthdays just because I like that. And
Yeah.
that's how I was treated. Um, like birthdays were a big deal in my family. So like I like to make
Yeah.
them a big deal for people.
Yeah.
But I mean within reason. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah. You're not gonna say they're God on that day, but yeah.
yeah, and I'm not gonna try like, to like go to a big, big extreme for somebody who's like told me like that they don't want to celebrate their birthday. Like I might say happy birthday, but I wouldn't throw them a surprise party or
Yeah.
something like that. Because again, there could be reasons.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. This is really good. Oh my goodness. So okay, let's start from the top, or let's top it off, I guess, if you want to say that. And that is, it's Christmas, right? It's the
Mhm.
winter, it's Christmas. Tis the season to be jolly, right? But how
Yeah.
are you feeling during
La, la,
Christmas?
la, la.
Right. Thank you. You had to add that. You had to add it. Yep. You're
Had-
right. Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Yeah, if you don't finish that,
What are we doing?
what are you doing?
I agree.
Um, how do
Yeah,
I
yeah. How are you feeling? What's Christmas? What is Christmas like to you, based off your past experiences and just care? Like, what is it to care?
Well, I love Christmas. I always have.
Wow.
Christmas is
Hmm.
just to me it's a time of like being with family. It's a time of like it's just like I anticipate
Mm.
decorating and
Yeah.
like blast Christmas music. Um, like as soon as Thanksgiving's over, like the day after Thanksgiving is when I
Yeah.
decorate and when I do things.
Mhm.
Because, well, for me, I want every holiday to have its due. So Thanksgiving gets its time too. So like I won't do Christmas before Thanksgiving happens because
Mm.
like we need to, preserve Thanksgiving as well. But
Yeah.
uh, but like Christmas is just a time. I don't know. There was stress. Sometimes there is stress around Christmas. Like
Mm.
I do like there is sometimes stress around Christmas just because like you're trying to get everything ready for people.
Yeah.
But it's fun too. Like it's stress mixed with fun because you're
Mm.
also like, trying to find presents for people because you love them and you want to like show them how you love them and like
Yeah.
and then um, you know, I like to bake always baked cookies at Christmas time. So like, the house smells like cookies and like it's just there's a lot of fun memories and things. Like, I baked cookies with my grandma, with my
Mm.
grandpa. I would bake cookies, like with my mom. We would take them to the neighbors.
Yeah.
So like it was just a time of giving and like joy and just that. But also like mixed in with that is stress because it's like you're cleaning, have to get
Yeah.
everything ready for family
Yeah.
coming over, um,
Hmm.
making sure like, you know, you're on time. And then sometimes there is like family dynamics where like, you might not get along with someone in the family
Yeah.
as
Hmm.
well, but you're coming together, so you're like, okay, and you kind of know the tension that's there. Like when you're
Yeah.
home, it's like, sometimes when we would go to one grandparent's house or the other, it's like, um, my mom or dad would feel the stress because of like the in
Mm.
kind of feeling that there was. So you could, as a kid, you could feel
Yeah.
um, that tension that was there. Um, but there's also joy, like, it's like I get to see my cousins that I
Yeah.
don't see all the time. So like it's just a lot of fun. So like a lot of times you like let go of the tension that you see or you feel
Absolutely.
um for the good feelings, for the joy, for the like
Absolutely.
going sledding, for
Yeah.
all of that stuff. Um, so yeah. So ultimately, to me, Christmas is like a joyous time of year, filled with food
Mm.
and fun. Um, even if there are tense moments at times.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Ultimately, it's a good time.
So compared to all the other seasons, or holidays, you would say Christmas is the one that is your most joyful, mentally joyful and happy upbringing holiday.
Hmm, that's an interesting way to put it. I don't, I
Yeah.
don't know if I would necessarily say that necessarily,
Okay.
but it's like because it is wrapped like I said, there it is wrapped with stress sometimes.
Yeah.
So while it's very joyous,
Right.
I think in some cases, like the seasons that are maybe less busy, because it gets
Yeah.
really busy around this time too. And also it's just because I think people are also anticipating the end of a year.
Yeah.
And so like when you think about the end of something,
Hmm.
to think about like what did I accomplish? Did I make my goals for the year?
Yeah.
Did I, like am I where I want to be? And like that can also cause a level of stress too, because like what if you're not where you wanted to be?
Absolutely.
There's a bunch of what ifs I think that happen like towards the end of the year
Yeah.
as well that you're kind of thinking about. So I think that there are seasons actually that are less stressful, less like, just like kind of chill.
Yeah.
I think that would be summer, really, would be the time
Mm,
that brings
okay.
like, you know, just like it's like a relaxed time of year,
Yeah.
where most people are like taking vacations and stuff. And I know, like, you know, that you like people work all throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
Even in the summer you're working, but it just has a more laid back feeling to it. I
Mm,
feel like even though Christmas is fun and there's a lot to be excited about, I feel
yeah.
like it also has a level of like that stress and just like a little bit of dauntedness of the end of a year,
Mm,
beginning of another one, because there's anxiety that comes with endings and beginnings.
yeah.
Um, like the end of the end of a year, the beginning of a new one, where it
Yeah.
could be like it's like the unknown, sort of.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Even though like it's not like you don't really know
Right.
what's happening because you're most likely gonna still be in the same like place. Like I'm gonna still be here,
Yeah.
where I live. I'm gonna still
Hmm.
be doing things. It'll just be a new year.
Yeah.
But it is like with those, I think it's with um it's just the concepts of endings and beginnings can bring anxiety and fear.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts.
That's good. No, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Do you, would you say that most people around you share that same perspective, like mentally? They see, um, let's say, well, I'll stick to Christmas since we're kind of currently here, but they
Mhm.
see, um, well, you know what? I'll say in general,
Actually, I
like,
can't speak for the other people around me.
mhm,
I don't know. I don't know
yeah,
how they feel, truthfully. I mean, I know like
hmm,
I was in church and like we are obviously joyful in this season and there's a
yeah.
lot of hope in that and people are excited and happy about it. But I guess I can't tell you their level of like or what their perspective is on it.
Well, what about those close to you? Do you find them kind of being a bit more sad because of certain events? And do you see dips in emotions due to certain holidays as well, like Christmas?
Um, I guess like there is like I said, just in my family, sometimes there's stress around Christmas
Yeah.
just because of the preparation the preparations and trying to make things go a certain way.
Mm,
I think sometimes it's expectations that you put on yourself or
okay.
on other people, and that can like mess with things.
Yeah.
Um, but for the most part, I mean, my family is excited. Like we're all happy
Right. Hmm.
and like Christmas. It's just there are some moments of, I guess, just stress.
Yeah.
And it is something that I guess I've noticed every year that does happen. And I think like I mean, I think that just happens in general too, like when company comes over or people are coming over, like
Hmm.
to clean things that they probably wouldn't even care about.
Right.
Baseboards,
Yeah.
all of that, you know?
Yeah.
They're
Hmm.
gonna come in and they're gonna inspect with a white glove, like a drill sergeant.
Right. It's like, man, ain't nobody walking around here trying to, you did not get that vent. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. No one ever does that. You're so right.
But yet there's that
Yeah.
level of like making sure it's all good.
Right. And then money, right? Like you said, going back to Christmas,
Mhm.
I guess everybody feels like they got to get a gift or this or that. It's like
Yeah, so that can also cause a level of stress.
a level of stress. Yeah.
It's like what if you didn't have the best year that year? What if you're low
Yeah.
like lower on funds? Um and you
Yeah.
can't provide like, you know, that um yeah. So I guess I would say that there is like stress around the holidays, but I think you do have to think about, again, like for me, it's like the re the reason for the season is
Yeah,
good. So if we keep that at the center and the focus, that's when we can have that hope and joy and peace,
absolutely.
even
Yeah,
in the midst of like everything else.
yeah,
If we can keep it real, then
exactly.
um and that's all that matters. And at the end of the day, like
Hmm.
just getting together with my family is a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that. I love that. Do you feel like do you feel like the aspect or what I guess I would say what things do you feel like people do I'm sorry, what things do you feel like people should do or could do during holidays to help improve their mental health? Like I guess saying the opposite of what we just mentioned, but like maybe going a bit more specific in terms of you personally, what are things you do to kind of help avoid putting yourself in that mental hole during a holiday, whether it's, remembering something or remembering things that experiences that did happen. What are some things that you perhaps do to avoid that whole mental downward spiral?
I think some things is like just coming up with a plan for like, like if you know that you're going to be with family that where things could become controversial or there could be topics that are
Mm,
controversial, just coming up with a plan for when those things happen or when those conversations come up. Like
that's
coming
good.
up with a plan of like how will I respond if this happens?
Yeah,
I maybe excuse myself from the conversation if it makes me uncomfortable, like, or is like causing, me anxiety or something. How
yeah,
can I excuse myself in a way, I mean, I guess doesn't necessarily have to be polite, but like, ultimately you would want it to be polite.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
in a way that's like, like just excusing myself, or
yeah,
maybe how can I change the subject, redirect, coming up with those kind of plans, those like in your mind, maybe like rehearsing them. If you know
yeah,
that there's like a certain family member that you are always like constantly, I don't know, in a fight with, or like
yeah.
where there is tension there, maybe finding ways to avoid them if
Mm,
possible, or you know, trying like possibly trying to have a conversation, but it just depends. Like, not everybody's ready to have the conversation, and if it's not going to be healthy for you, then finding ways to avoid it, like finding ways to step away.
yeah.
Just having those plans in place. Um, a safe word, perhaps with
Mm,
close, like with family that you trust.
yeah.
Like if things are getting heated, you can like use it as an excuse. One year, my sisters and I came up with the we were like using the term Rudolph as our safe
Safe
word.
word. Yeah.
Like if we thought like something that someone was saying was gonna be too controversial, we would try to sneak Rudolph into the conversation. It did not work very well
I cannot.
because there was one time where I was saying it, I said the
Yeah.
word, I said Rudolph,
Rudolph.
and my sister just looked at me like, "What is your problem? Like, why do you
I
keep
cannot.
mentioning Rudolph? Like, what is your obsession with Rudolph?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to help you."
I cannot.
So it doesn't always work. You have to remember the safe word in order
Yeah.
for it to work. Um, so
That is adorable.
uh
So she said you have to remember to say, right, look what are you talking about? Rudolph. It's like, what?
you do have to remember it in order
You
for it
have to remember it.
um
Right.
so make sure it's something that you can remember. Uh or like, something that I also like to incorporate, especially like during this time, like I was saying before, is like
Yeah.
um just even trying to get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Like, just fresh air, because sometimes like when you're like stuck in a place, you know, like it's warm and cozy in your house or whatever, but like you might just it might seem like claustrophobic, or it might seem like something. So just get outside. And that cold air, if you're in a cold place, that'll like snap you right out of it real quick.
Facts.
you know? So just
Yeah,
doing that, like breathing that in for a little bit and then coming back to the situation, or like the place. I think just
that's really good.
getting some fresh air is important.
Good. That's really good. That's really good. Yeah. I 100% agree. I think it's very what you said, I think is very admirable in the sense that, again, you do want to plan, plan to not be in those scenarios or plan to not go there mentally with yourself or to not fall into a mental spot by, like you said, planning to have an escape route.
Well, and
Um,
even oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, just even just having like like redirects, like something that uh I've learned in my counseling classes, and even when I was in counseling myself, like doing therapy myself, it's
Yeah,
just redirecting your thoughts, or redirecting like
yeah,
redirect. So like when you're telling yourself, like when you're depressed, or when you're telling yourself that like I'm not good enough, or I'm so bad at
yeah,
and this and that, it's like you have to like stop and like take that thought and like turn it around and say, okay, wait, um maybe I'm not good at this yet, or maybe like have I tried this,
yeah,
or or that's not true. Like
yeah,
even sometimes just telling your own thoughts that that's not true.
yeah,
And maybe like you might have to confront some family members, like if they're
yeah,
saying lies, or they're saying something, you might have to be like, hey, that's not true. Like why are you saying this?
yeah.
Like, you know,
That's good. That's good. So sometimes holidays can be a level of intervention, is what you're saying. It's a
sometimes
it's a time to not run away from or avoid or plan to avoid
sometimes
getting.
it's not. Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah,
Like you do have to gauge the situation, of course.
yeah,
And like I think you can have a plan for both. I think there could be a plan for like maybe engaging, and a plan for also disengaging,
yeah,
like being like, why did you say that? Or like if things escalate too far, like, okay, we're gonna backtrack, and we'll come back to this.
yeah,
This is not the time for it. Let's have fun. Let's play a game.
yeah.
Let's do something.
That's good. That's really, really good. Really, really good. What should Well, okay, well, let me actually go here because I was actually thinking about this as well. So again, sometimes during holidays, and I've seen this very often with my family members, my mom and other people, how, like you said, you can have a holiday where you used to spend time, good times with your loved ones and your mom and your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, and they then have passed or died. Um, and then you have, like you said, you have those people who see those holidays that then come up as like, man, I don't want this holiday. I don't want to experience this. I don't want to go there. You know,
Yeah,
you hmm
no, it is hard. It is difficult. I know like the first year without my grandma
yeah,
was really difficult.
yeah,
Like for everybody, it was um, like, should we get together? I mean, there was questions like, should we get together as an extended family or not?
yeah, yeah,
Because like one of the reasons that we got together before was our grandparents. And then
yeah,
like so then it's like you think about it, should we still do that? So some of us did, like, and we got together around my grandma's house, but now her house is gone, like, completely. And so now we're just not getting together at Christmas time. We're
Yeah,
just doing the the summer reunions, which it does kind of make sense because, like, I mean, the family's big and they have their own families now. Like, people have, like, they've got my cousins have kids, so then my aunts and uncles are grandparents, so they have,
yeah,
like, you have your own, like, family dynamics and those things. Kind of that's how it evolves.
yeah,
But yeah, um, those first holidays, whether the person passed away during Christmas or that holiday or just sometime that year,
yeah,
the first time without them is difficult because
yeah,
you have those memories and those moments, and you're just like, dang, I miss them, you know?
yeah,
And I think that's
yeah,
normal. It's very normal. I think,
yeah.
like, honestly, the best thing to do is kind of to sit with those emotions, I
I was
think.
just about to ask.
And I think just like remember, but I think remembering the good times more than and then um like thinking about like how would they want you to spend this,
Mm,
like how would they want you to spend it? Like they would most likely, if this was a great time for them, if they enjoyed it, they would most
yeah,
likely want you to be enjoying it and having fun and spending time with family and being around loved ones.
yeah,
Like, I think thinking like when you put into perspective, like what would they want from it? Like how would
yeah.
they want you to
Hmm.
celebrate, you know? Like it doesn't take away the grief, it doesn't take away the pain, but I think just having that, even just those moments, like if you can find somebody that's willing to reminisce with you, like I think that's
Yeah,
a great thing too. Like just to sit around and be like, oh my gosh, grandpa, if he was here, oh, he would have made a comment about this
yeah,
or that, or
yeah,
like I think that brings them into the holiday as well.
yeah. Hmm.
Um, like there's a level of that.
Mm. So don't run away from the feelings. Embrace them and include the memories in the holiday.
I think so. I mean that's my personal opinion on it. Like I feel
Yeah.
like it could build like it could I feel like that could bring a level of I think that could bring a level of healing into it.
Yeah.
I feel like that could bring a level of just like, and it's like a level of acceptance, right? Like
Yeah.
within grief, there's five stages, and one of them is acceptance. And so
Yeah.
when you come to that point,
Yeah.
you know, where you can acknowledge that they're gone, but remember like their existence and the memories that you had with them.
Yeah.
Like, I think it can start to bring healing.
Wow.
And
Wow. Wow.
it could bring healing for other people. Like you don't know, like maybe somebody else is also struggling with it. And then if you
Yeah.
sit with them and you like take the time to remember together, like you don't know how much that could help them too. Like you could be helping
Yeah.
them.
That's good. That's really good. So looking at looking at the holidays as also an opportunity to help others.
Mhm.
That's what it sounds like, right? Like it's not even just about you.
Yeah.
It's about giving towards others or seeing it as an opportunity to help others around that time because typically you're around others anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I think just bringing people in, like bringing, like, just having those moments.
Yeah, that's really good. Oh, I freaking love that. Okay. So when it comes to let's say mental health in general, since you do have everyone around the table, since you do have everyone gathered together, since you do have everyone, you know, sitting around and in a sense kind of assessing their lives. Like, that's kind of what we do anyway. Like we'll come together and like, we eat and do all these other things and different things and stuff. But how much would you recommend the conversations or being an initiator of a conversation regarding mental health during holidays? You know, everyone's like, oh man, the holidays are supposed to be happy, joyful, jolly, this and that. But would you ever recommend the holidays sitting around the table eating as an opportunity to also talk about, hey,
I
are
think,
we all happy?
I think it would depend on
Mm,
like on your family dynamics. I think it would
mm.
depend on how well you're connected to them and how
Yeah.
comfortable they feel sharing with everyone, you know?
Mm,
Because, you know, it could be something that you do like one on one. Like you could go like, you know, maybe you got a favorite cousin that you're
yeah,
gonna like step aside and have a private conversation with and be like, "Hey, how's everything going? How's your year?"
yeah,
You know, like it's just casual conversation, I'd say. Like you
yeah,
don't have to go up to them and say, "How's your mental health?" You know?
yeah,
Like, you know,
exactly.
just talking to them about like, you know, what's going on in their life, you know?
Yeah,
Oh, um, you know, maybe you find out they lost a job. How is that like how do you feel about that? Are you doing okay? Like, is there anything I can do? Or, you know, or just being there, you know? Like, I don't think these conversations necessarily have to take place around the dinner table,
yeah,
but
hmm,
they can happen. Like, you know, you can have conversations, like real
yeah,
conversations with your family. Um,
hmm,
I don't think you have to be like upfront and just be like, are you depressed? You know?
yeah.
Like, you know? But like
That's messed up.
but like just, you know, like catching up. Basically it's like
Yeah,
catching up. If you haven't gotten the chance to catch up with them like throughout the year, like
yeah,
you're like, I just want to know about your life because I love you and I
yeah,
care about you. So like, you know, as much as they're willing to share,
yeah,
you can get deep if you have to, like, you know. Um, but like it's all based on I think your level of like it's the family dynamics, their
yeah,
level of comfortability with you, like your level of
yeah,
comfortability with them, all of that. But I think there's definitely moments for it. There's moments for checking on people, like whether it's a holiday season or not.
yeah.
There's definitely moments where you can check on people and say, "Hey, you doing okay?" Or I know that this is happening in your life. How's
Yeah.
that going? You know, just asking the question. Like just asking can be super helpful.
Yeah. That's
But,
good.
you know, definitely asking in a way that's like, you know, we all have those like aunts, uncles, cousins, or people
Yeah.
that that are like kind of just prying for gossip or prying
Yeah.
for like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
to judge you or whatever.
Yeah.
You have those people, everybody has those people in their life or their family or whatever.
Yep.
So like, you know, try not to be that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Possible,
Yeah.
but you know, and
Having
then
good
like
intentions. Yeah.
yeah, and like with those people, I think like that's where some of those strategies also comes in mind is like you don't have to share anything with them if you don't want to.
That's true. That's true.
Like, you don't have to share. You can be, I think I've heard it called the gray rock method, where you like give them as little as possible. Like it's like, you know,
That's good.
they ask you about like how's your life going? You can say it's good. And you can stop
Mm.
there. You don't have to
You don't
elaborate.
have to. Yeah.
You don't have to elaborate. You don't have to continue to, you don't have to say anything else. Um, you know,
Yeah.
you are the one that can allow people like the privilege of that information.
Yeah.
So, like if you know that those are like if that's typically their intentions or that's like what they do,
Yeah.
like you don't have to share.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And even if they try to make you feel bad, you don't have to. Like
Right.
there's no obligations.
That's good. That's really good. You don't have to share. There's no obligations. That's really good. Hmm. That's so good. When it comes to, I guess, seasons and holidays as well, or let's just say even Christmas. what are some of your most happy, memorable moments during Christmas or specific moments of Christmas that I guess, helps you stay happy or help you remember this season in a happy way? I'm curious.
No, it's just like the traditions with my family are so fun. Like I love them.
What do y'all do?
What do we do? Well, we dance around the Christmas tree.
Yo, y'all do that?
Yeah.
That's fire. That's a
Um,
tradition.
that's a tradition. Yeah.
Wow.
Every year we dance around the Christmas tree.
Wow.
So you like from youngest to oldest, you hold hands, you pick a song, and then you sing the song while you go one way around the tree, and then the next person picks it, you go the other way around the tree,
Oh, that's beautiful.
and it's super fun. We also do like that was like actually we've incorporated that into like my um uh my immediate family's like tradition now because
Hey.
that was my what we did when we went to my grandpa's on my mom's side because
Okay.
that's the Danish Norwegian tradition.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and then we've also incorporated the German tradition, which is on my dad's side, of hiding a pickle in the tree.
Wait. Time out.
It's
What?
a pickle ornament. It's an ornament that's shaped like a
Okay, I was
pickle.
about to say that a real pickle.
Not a real pickle. It's not a
Yo,
real
you should have
pickle.
started with that. Like what?
I know, well, it's like I always forget that people don't know what I'm saying. Um,
A pickle in the tree. Like
it's
what?
because it's green. It's because it's green. So then like it's hard to find.
Oh,
So it's like a pickle ornament. You put it in
yeah.
a tree and then you have to find it. And
What?
then you win a candy cane. At least that's what you did. You won a candy cane at my grandma Nelk's house. Um, so
That's fire.
so I have a pickle ornament that I put in my tree.
I cannot.
Uh, and and then like so we've incorporated those traditions since all of my grandparents are no longer around.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
like so now like it's just we do all of it
Yeah.
um at my immediate family. So we do that and then we also have like our what our family tradition was when I was younger was
Yeah.
that we would like my sister plays the piano
Mm.
and we all like choose either now we've incorporated a worship song like
Oh
it's
wow. Okay.
either a worship song or a Christmas song.
Yeah.
But I think now since we have now since we're doing the dancing around the Christmas trees, it's probably just going to be worship songs for the piano one because the
Mm.
Christmas songs will be for the tree. But it used to be like you could choose a worship or a Christmas song.
Yeah.
And then she would play it and we'd sing. And again, youngest to oldest did that.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, that's fire.
so so that was fun. So we just lots of singing
Yeah. Yeah.
is
I can hear.
is what my family does.
Yeah.
Which to me, like that just brings like I love music, and so like music just brings
Yeah.
me joy. So like
Yeah.
having these moments is nice. And then also like we play games. So games are like
Wow.
cool at my family. So just like having those moments just for fun. Like it's like just trying to be as relaxing as possible. And I
Yeah.
guess technically, like my family, we do I think try to avoid the big conversations because sometimes those can cause stressful
So
moments.
I'll stretch the moments. Yeah.
But so possibly of like limiting those during the
Yeah.
holidays. But I would say if they do come up, I think it's important to have a plan on how to do it.
That's to do it. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Wow.
Absolutely.
That's really good. These are some amazing tips, and I'm asking them, and I'm kind of like going deep in them because again, you have a lot of people that they you have some people I've seen this personally. I've seen certain family members and family gatherings and holiday gatherings where no one talks, or they barely talk because they don't know how
Yeah.
without stepping on each other's toes.
Hmm.
without somebody offending somebody, or somebody saying this, or somebody worried about. And I've even felt that way in some instances where I'm like, I'm not gonna say any more than what I need to.
Yeah, I mean, there are those moments. There definitely is those moments. I think in every
Yeah,
family there's those moments.
yeah,
Um, and that's very normal, but
yeah,
it's trying to figure out how to, I guess, navigate those so that,
yeah.
you know, or even like setting some things aside, maybe even coming up with like, there's certain topics that we are not going to talk about. Like,
Mm.
like maybe setting those rules ahead of time,
Uh,
just being like, hey, these are the topics that we're not going to discuss
yeah,
um, right now
yeah.
because this is not what this is for.
That's good.
And I think like I feel like it's fair to have um those things,
Very fair. Yeah.
you know? I mean, I know that there's definitely some people who just love to talk about controversial topics. Like that's
Yeah.
part of
Politics, or
their
yeah.
personality. Um, but I think that that sometimes even those types of people have to be willing, like it to me it all comes down to willingness. Are you willing to set aside, I think, sometimes pride or ego or
Yeah.
whatever to be with family and like or friends or like to like just hang out. Like, are you
Yeah.
willing to do that? Are you willing to set it aside? Like, or do
That's
you
good.
have to be right? So you have to bring this up
Yeah. Yeah.
at Christmas, you
Yeah.
know? I
Do you
don't know.
think it's no, no, this is good. And let's stay there. Let's stay there because I have another question that's kind
Right.
of banks off of this. But do you
Mhm.
think that, would you say that, mentally or for your own mental, um, keeping it around mental health, do you think that it's beneficial mentally for someone to be alone for the holidays? Since everyone sees it as a be together, be together, be together, be with family. You got some people that be like, hey,
You
do you think
know,
that's mentally healthy? Well,
I think it depends. It really does depend. Like this year for Thanksgiving, I
yeah.
was
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I couldn't believe you saw how I reacted. I was like, what
I know
the?
you're like, oh my gosh. And you
I
know what?
felt horrible. Yeah.
Typically, like, and I wanted to reassure you that I was fine. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it really like typically I did like I this actually was the first Thanksgiving that I spent by myself.
What?
Mhm.
Oh, I feel even more
No,
horrible.
don't feel bad. No, because like listen, like
Uh,
it was actually something that I personally feel like I did need that solitude
mm,
for that day. Like for my
yeah.
mental, like because
Wow.
like some of the things that have gone on recently,
Yeah.
like like I had just spent time with family and it was
Yeah.
wonderful. I loved it, but
Hmm.
there was also some stress that came from it. And
Yeah.
so like, you know what? I honestly am just so glad that it worked out that I'm dog sitting. I'm taking care of Mr. Fox. It's just me and
Yeah.
Mr. Fox. And
Yeah.
like I don't have to put up like not even that like if I was with my friends, I would necessarily have to put up a fake face necessarily. But like
Yeah.
sometimes like when you're with people, like you're like, especially during holidays, you're like, I have to be happy, and
Yeah.
not that I'm not happy, but like you have to have that face, like that, like,
Yeah.
like whatever. And so it's like
Yeah.
I could just be how like I could just be not
Yeah.
even like that I was sad, but it's just like I could just be alone and I could do whatever I wanted. I watched Grey's Anatomy all day.
Wow.
Cool. um I mean I went for a walk as well, um
Yeah.
and I did that. I mean I scheduled content for you, um
Yeah.
so you had content during
Yeah.
the day that you might not have had.
Yeah.
Totally fine because we can take breaks for holidays and stuff. But um, it was fine. And so I think that, you know, I don't think people should pressure you into like I know holidays are a time for gathering, but if you do need that space, if you do need that time, if
Yeah.
you need to like step away, if
Yeah.
it is like if going to your family is going to be more of a drain on your mental health,
Yeah.
like than not, like absolutely you should like
Um,
take time for yourself, I think. Like, have that like I think you have to weigh like will this will me going be worse for my mental health than me staying?
yeah.
Will me
Yeah.
staying be worse for my mental health than going?
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think that's like which you have to decide.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's wrong. Like, I don't think it's wrong for you to not like to be alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now, if you're being alone to like, to isolate yourself, like for like just like if you're intentionally trying to, I don't know how to put this. I'm trying to think of like the words that I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah.
don't just avoid people to avoid them.
Yeah.
Like, like don't like isolate yourself for no reason.
For no reason.
But like if it will honestly be better for you mentally to have some solitude,
Yeah.
or if it'd be better for you to work. Like, like some people choose to work on the holidays because then they have an excuse for why they can't go to the gathering.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Some people do that.
if that
Yeah.
if that is like a way, I mean, and that could be a way for them to protect themselves mentally too.
Mentally
If that
too.
is if
Yeah.
that's a way to protect yourself mentally, then get that overtime.
Yeah.
Get the
Yeah.
holiday pay. I
Yeah.
mean, some people have to work regardless, um, whether they might not ask for it at all. But like,
Right.
but I mean, get that overtime if it would be better for you mentally that way.
Mm. To each his own. There's no right answer.
No, there's
Yeah.
not. Like that's the thing about mental health is like
Yeah.
it's personal.
Yeah. It's personal.
It's
Yeah.
your own. And so like even with a counselor, like even me going to school to be a counselor, I'm
Yeah.
working as an individual.
Yeah.
Figure out what your goals are.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to put my like I might have a theory that like I use or like concepts that I use to help
Yeah.
like but ultimately we're trying to get what you want out of life
Yeah.
or the goal, you know, how can we get you in a better place out of depression or like away from anxiety? How can we
Yeah.
lessen that, you know?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are ways that we can do that? Like you're the
That's
one,
good.
like you come up with strategies and you're the one that implements them. You're the one that helps us come up with strategies too. Like I've
Yeah.
come up with a strategy, but if you don't think that'll work for you or you try it and it's not going to work for you, we're going to try another one,
I'm gonna try something else. Yeah.
Because it's a personal thing. It's something that you have to figure out.
Yeah.
And it's helpful to have somebody that's alongside helping you figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you don't want to figure like it's hard to sometimes figure it out alone because
Yeah.
like you don't always know how to do it.
Absolutely. That's good. That's really good. Wow. That that was a really good answer. I'm getting ready to like verify somebody um identification card ID.
Okay.
So just letting you know because it's like alcohol. But that was really good. What you just said was amazing. Um like wow. I'm actually glad I asked you that question because like I said, a lot of people consider, you know, um holidays as a time where, like kind of like what you said, like once you told me that you were alone, it was almost like committing blasphemy. It's like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
I know. You're
Uh,
like, I have to invite you to Thanksgiving now. No, you didn't say that.
exactly.
It was like, but that was like the implication. It was like, oh my gosh,
Exactly.
we need to
Exactly.
find you a home.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's how I felt.
Can't be
Like I was
alone.
just like, yeah, just
Which
like
is
for
honestly,
me, it was just a matter.
it's well, that's very sweet, very admirable. but also it's like
Mhm.
sometimes it's okay. But that was why I also wanted to
Hey, how you
reassure
doing,
you.
man?
I
You doing pretty good?
legitimately am
Thanks,
fine.
man. Give me 1 second, Care.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, just need your signature. All right, thanks, man. All right, have a good one. Thanks, man. Have a good one. All right, hello.
Hello.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
But yeah, yeah, like you said it. You said it. It's and like you said, it was admirable, but you're okay.
Yeah. Well, and it was like why I wanted to like reassure you. Like I really
Yeah.
like and I could have like I'm sure I could have found like I really could have found somebody. Like somebody would have let me in with them.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
have some friends around here, but I was like, truthfully, I just
I don't
won't.
want to. Yeah.
I really don't. Like I was
Yeah.
actually kind of praying. I was like, hey God, I mean, if somebody
Wow.
invites me, I'll definitely go. But if nobody invites me, I'm actually like kind of like I
Just
kind
wanting
of
that
want
peace.
this.
Yeah.
I kind of want this solitude time.
Yeah.
Truthfully, like God didn't have anybody invite me on
Wow.
Thanksgiving.
Y- Yeah.
I would have said yes if I had been invited on Thanksgiving Day. But like I did get invited to something on that Friday.
Yeah.
So I went and hung out with friends that day, which was great. It was
Hmm.
like Thanksgiving was all for me.
Wow. That's dope. Like for real, that's really dope. And I admire your authenticity with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You didn't sit around and just be like, oh man, I need to do something. And then you did something that you didn't want to do. You embraced that. Like,
Mhm.
wow. That's why I even admire that. For a minute, I was like, wow, like I even admire that, because you don't think about that. You don't think about taking a break from family on holidays, but it
Mhm.
could be needed.
Yeah, it could be needed. And it's not
Could be
something that
needed.
I would do every year for sure.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
sometimes I just be like, I'm never coming to a
Never,
holiday again,
yeah.
you know. But like, I think sometimes it's okay.
That's okay. Yep. That's good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for that. Well,
Oh,
we heading over to fitness. This was dope, man. This is the calls are
like,
getting
we've
like
been coming to the wire on these calls today.
no, but it was good. It's
It
been
was
good.
good. It was good. But I forgot to like tell you
Tell me what.
the like 5 minute warning.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. Like again, sometimes we're gonna have those moments,
Mhm.
where it's just like, hey man, we're enjoying this.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good conversation.
Amazing conversation. That,
I mean, I spoke the whole time this time. That's how good it was, I
that's
guess.
how good it was. Come on now. Come on. Oh dang, it's all right. So Zoom is telling me to get on the other one.
Okay, I'm
All right.
leaving. I'll see
Fitness.
you
Let's do
then.
it.
Bye.
Bye.